song is such a beautiful song. And I didn't think that I really, oh, by the way, I do have this up here, so there's a reason. It is Bill Brooks live at Unity of New York. So there's 11 songs on here. It's a mere $10, and if you wish to have one, there is a stack of them out on the foyer, so you can put $10 in the envelope and take Bill home with you. So the song, Instrument of Peace, you know, the words are different than this prayer of St. Francis of Assisi. How many of you have heard that song before? Okay, a few of you. I didn't think I knew this song, but then when I actually listened to it, that is by Olivia Newton-John. So in case you want to ever look it up in YouTube or something to that effect, it's Instrument of Peace by Olivia Newton-John, and it is such a gorgeous song. So I'm just going to share the lyrics again. You've heard them sung so beautifully. However, sometimes you hear it differently when it is spoken. So where there is hatred, let me bring love. Where there is doubt, let me bring faith. Where there is falsehood, let me bring truth. And you can say it if you know what the word is, what we're bringing. Where there is pain, I'll comfort you. Where there is silence, let me bring praise. Where there is despair, see if you get this one, let me bring hope. Very good. Where there is blindness, let me bring sight. Where there is darkness, let me bring light. You know, those words just touch my heart. And there's more words to it, but I won't go into all of it. Some of that is actually, the second part is more aligned actually with the verbiage in the prayer from St. Francis of Assisi. So how many feel that you are an instrument of peace? Yeah, some of you. Some of you are like, maybe. That kind of goes into the follow-up question. How many of you are actually 100% of the time an instrument of peace? Yeah, that's what I thought. Same here. I'm not always in my peaceful self. However, how many of you would love to have the feeling and to experience peace no matter what was going on? Hello. Yeah, I would imagine everybody's hand should be raised. So the question is, well, the mass majority of people, I believe, are all seeking peace, to be honest. And, you know, here's the thing. Every Sunday, we light this peace candle. We pray, we imagine, we just think about peace being everywhere. We give thanks, imagining peace being everywhere. And how many of you pray for peace throughout the week and just affirm and to imagine? At the end of a service, we always sing the song, "Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me." So the question is, have you ever wondered why, with all the prayers from all the people, all the imagining, all the feeling as if there was peace, all the singing, why isn't there any peace, right? Anybody? Come on. Yeah, right? It's like, what is with that? And so that is my question. You know, the question is, what's missing? Today's talk title is The Missing Piece. Now, how many of you read the newsletter and when you saw the title, The Missing Piece, you thought I spelled it wrong? Because I spelled it P-E-A-C-E, and when you say the missing piece, you think it's more like a puzzle piece, P-I-E-C-E, right? But yeah, I can see Jeannie's like, yeah, I thought that. So the missing piece, P-E-A-C-E, what is the missing piece to our experience of peace, right? That's the idea and thought for today. And I'm going to share about what that missing piece I believe is and where we can have a different thought and perspective of it. Now, I've been doing a series of talks just based on the 10 commitments, but I expand greatly into different dimensions of it. And basically, it's taking the 10 commandments and turning it into the 10 commitments. A command is when someone outside of you is telling you what to do, right? And then that's like external, and we often rebel. And so commandments aren't really empowering. A commitment, on the other hand, is totally different. A commitment is something that I make the decision about. I choose, and that's the word. I choose what I commit to. So the first week we talked about I commit to authenticity. Last week was I commit to freedom, with Martin Luther King as our lead in that. And so today we're going to look at the 10th commitment, or starting with the 10th commandment. So the 10th commandment is, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet the neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, aka donkey. Just in case you're confused, I don't know. Nor anything that is thy neighbor's, okay? I can't help it. Spirit made me do it. I can always choose to say spirit on that one. So here's the definition of covet, because I didn't really, I knew it, but was like, what is the definition of covet? To wish for an extreme desire for that which belongs to another. Okay, you long for, you want something that's not yours. And to covet anyone else's stuff actually demonstrates a sense of discontent in your own life, a sense of lack of peace with your own life. So, yeah, to covet means I'm not at peace and I want what you have because that'll bring me peace. And that's what they're talking about. I'm not satisfied, I'm not happy. David Simon, who works with Deepak Chopra, says, the desire for peace is at the root of all other desires. Whenever we long for anything, we anticipate that our discontent or dissatisfaction will resolve once we achieve the object of our desire. When we feel constricted or incomplete, our minds seek for something outside of ourselves in the hope that adding something to our incompleteness will bring peace of mind. Isn't that very good? Our essential nature is peace, but with our individuation, we develop a sense of incompleteness. Our separation gives rise to desires, the impulses to move from less to more, from fragmentation to unity, from fear to peace. So our essential nature is peace. So what's the missing piece to peace? It's unity. It's a sense of oneness. When you're in oneness, you're at peace. When anything is separated, there's a lack of peace. A relationship that is not feeling at one has a lack of peace. When there's a unity and coming back together, there is peace. When you have an injury on your body or there's an illness or something to that effect, when it's back to its perfection, there's peace. Peace is in so many ways the world. Whenever we have conflict or separation, there's a lack of peace. So the missing piece is coming back into unity, into oneness. And that means in the outer world, but also in our inner world. You ever have your head say one thing and your heart saying something else? Come on. Anybody? Yeah, come on. We have these splits inside of our own head. We think this way, and I should do this, but I feel like this. And then, so we're separated in ourselves. We have our own inner wars, by the way. So to come back into peace is to put the two parts that are separated back into their togetherness. And so the missing piece is our oneness. And feeling one with whatever it is that we feel separated from. We recognize that there are no others. There's just another expression of the divine. We say the divine is all there is. So you're all me, by the way. You're all the divine in another aspect of the me that is the I am. We all have different personalities and bodies and lives, but in our core, we are all the I am. We are all the divine in expression, in the very center of our being. So what creates that sense of separation and conflict? You know me in acronyms, whether you like them or not. War. War is when we are resistant. We are resistant to life as it is. Breathe. When I am resistant to life as it is, I'm actually at war because it is what it is, and I don't like it, and I don't want it to be that way. So I am resisting accepting what is. I have a few wonderful quotes that I'm going to share with you that actually expound on this. The first one is the word peace itself. It's derived from the Latin paciere, meaning to make an agreement, okay? Peace means to make an agreement. To be centered in peace is to be in complete agreement with life. What? Okay. Yeah, you're all going, I'm not in agreement with that or this, and or we have a lack of peace. The next one, and that was by Jack Addington. The next one by Dean Ornish says, peace is not something that we get. It's something that we have already. If you stop disturbing it, right? Mm-hmm. You're thinking about it. Yeah, we already have peace, but I'm disturbing it. Nelson Mandela, if you want to make peace with your enemy, you have to work with your enemy. Then he becomes your partner. So we have light sides of our being and what we call the dark sides, the shadow. And sometimes there's conflict between the different voices in our head. Again, I need to make friends. I love my shadow. There's a book out there that you may want to check out someday if you haven't already. The Dark Side of the Light Chasers by Debbie Ford. She basically says every aspect of who we are emotionally is part of the wholeness. And to resist, she also says, what you don't own owns you. That's the best line, one of the best lines. What you don't own owns you. So if I say, I am not an envious person, but I'm experiencing envy, I need to embrace my envious side. All parts of me are actually necessary, and they all have a gift. I had one time where I was told by my prayer practitioner, write down what's good about being greedy. I'm like, what? So the exercise was, what's good about being greedy is. I didn't think anything would come out of my pen. I wrote something. I don't remember what it was. But if you start something with, I don't like that in another person, it's something that you don't like in yourself, number one, okay? I didn't like whiny people. And then I realized I have an inner whiner who's not allowed to whine. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to give myself 5 minutes to be the biggest, baddest whiner ever. And I would do that. And my girlfriend would do that too. And it was like, now it didn't bother me if people were whiny because I embraced that part of me. Those lower vibrational parts of us are just asking for love and an opportunity to step onto the stage and be that peace. They don't have to run your life, but you give them an opportunity to express. You know, I'm a minister, but I can rant. big time. And I have people that I can rant with, especially my counselor, because there's a part of me that needs to have that opportunity to say what's on my mind and be the, we won't go into that. So we'll go into the fourth, which you all know, the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity. Serenity is peace, okay? God, grant me the serenity or peace to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Again, it's speaking about accepting the things I cannot change. How many of you struggle with accepting things? Come on, we all do. But if that is the goal, so can I accept things? I can accept that I don't like it, okay? I accept that I don't like what's going on. I accept that it's going on, and I accept that I don't like it, okay? So you can still be in the acceptance, and you can even accept that I don't believe in this, I don't want this, I accept. Acceptance is a key, and we're actually going to have a part 2 to this talk next week, because it's about acceptance. So how many of you would like to commit to peace and know how to do so, and to be more unified with yourself? Well, I have some ways. And I'm going to pass this on to you because it's definitely worked for me. By following this simple advice I read in an article, I actually found inner peace. The article read, "The way to achieve inner peace is to finish all the things you started." Such simple advice. So I looked around to see all the things I'd started and hadn't finished. Today I finished 1 bottle of red wine, a bottle of Jack Daniels, my Prozac, a box of chocolates, and a half a gallon of Rocky Road ice cream. You have no idea how good I feel. I wouldn't suggest you do that. I mean, you'll feel good, but don't ask yourself how you're going to feel the next day. So that's one way that you could possibly achieve your inner peace. So some other tips that you might want to take. Number 1, in the definition of what peace is, part of it is harmony in your personal relationships. So here is something I just heard from someone, I'm not sure which divine person I spoke to, because I speak to different people throughout the week, but they said when they're having conflict with anybody, whether it's in a personal relationship or you just have an issue with another being, she said what she says is, "I acknowledge your humanity and I know your divinity." I acknowledge your humanity, because you're lost, it seems, and I know your divinity, because in the core of all of us, there is the divine. So I'm recognizing and acknowledging that you are a human, and you're doing some very interesting human things, but I know that I know your divinity. See, Jesus, the Great Way Shower, used to say things like, "Judge not by appearances, but know the truth. See beyond what the appearance is." Now, that takes some practice, and the more we practice, we can actually get better with that. So, a few other ways that you can unite with yourself and others, because it's all starting with yourself. Number 1, set limits, okay? If you are doing way too much, set some boundaries and limits. This is to assist you, because when you're too all over the place, you can't be at peace. And the next one follows that, which means to slow down. Slow down. Walk slower, okay? Talk slower. I don't know about you, but it's counterintuitive when I'm running late to tell myself to slow down. However, when I'm running late and try to go faster, I actually become later. So just note to self, if I slow down, even though I'm running late, I don't want to speed up. Slowing down actually gets me there better. One of my favorite things to do, and I'm like on this rampage, declutter. Oh my gosh, declutter your stuff and declutter your mind. Because anything that is in disarray and you have too much of, it is creating, whether you know it or not subconsciously, disturbance in your being. But when things are organized, don't you feel like, wow, you're so much more peaceful when it's disorganized? And I've also heard whatever is outside of you could be how your mind is. So if you have clutter, spend some time this week. Spend 5 minutes clearing something. And when you clear stuff, you could be clearing your mind, your energy. Everything is energy. Escape for a while. Do what makes you happy. Oh, we all need to probably spend more time in nature, and it's a little tougher when it's so cold out. I definitely am not out as much. But you can bundle up, just go outside and look at the sun. Well, don't look at the sun, that could hurt your eyes. Look at the sky. Let the sun come onto you and be with the trees. You know, nature is such a peace giver. Watch TV, watch a show that you like. Read a novel. I'm actually reading a novel. You can congratulate me on that. Come on. Because I don't usually do that, and I have made that priority because my inner children love to read fun stuff, and I don't let them. And so I'm giving myself that gift so my kids are more peaceful, and then all of me is more peaceful. Listen to music. How many of you have ever heard of the season for nonviolence? A few of you. The season for nonviolence actually is a 64-day practice, and it starts this coming Friday. It's January 30th, Thursday or Friday? Thursday. It starts on Thursday, so this is the 64 days between the death of Gandhi on January 30th and Martin Luther King on April 4th. It's a 64-day educational media grassroots campaign dedicated to demonstrating that nonviolence is a powerful way to heal, transform, and empower our lives and our community. It's a time to remember the accomplishments of our two great peacemakers, Gandhi and Martin Luther King, Jr. It began in 1998 by Arun Gandhi and a group of organizations dedicated to these beautiful nonviolent practices. For an awareness, there are 64 ways in 64 days to practice nonviolence. Every day is a personal trait, skill, or action. And a simple, this is important, it's simple, act to enforce that trait is suggested. I have made copies for you. I may have to make more. Here's a couple of them, starting this week, January 30th. The thought for the day is courage. Today, you can simply light a candle to symbolize my commitment to accept the courage to practice these 64 days of living nonviolently. Day 2, how many of you can smile? Right? I'm telling you, these are simple, but what if you did these every day? What would happen for 64 days? Today I will share a sincere smile with everyone I meet, knowing that my smile contributes to peace. Day 3, the thought for today is appreciation. This would be Saturday. Today I will write down 10 things that I appreciate about myself and my life, and I would tell at least one person what I appreciate about them. These are simple practices. I encourage you to take this, and if I have to make more copies, I definitely will, because they're out in the foyer. And if you're in the cyber sanctuary, let me know, because I can send me an email to revliz@unitysantafe.org. I will be happy to send you a copy that way. And last but not least, how many of you breathe? How many of you shallow breathe? How many of you practice deep breathing? Yeah, some of us do, some of us do not. So breathing, even when I say the word breathe, don't you breathe deeper? Isn't that amazing? You're all breathing, but as soon as somebody says breathe, you all breathe deeper. Isn't that? So I'm going to suggest you put a few sticky notes up that say breathe. Put them on your mirror, put them on your steering wheel, put them on your dining table, and then move them, because you're going to get so used to them being there that you're going to need to move them around. But when you see the word breathe, you're going to, take that deep breath again. So when you're breathing, I would encourage you to do some meditation, and that is your final one. In your meditation, simple words like, be still, be still, be still. Close your eyes just for a moment and feel. Be still, be still, be still. As I enter into the peace of stillness, I feel a deep, abiding inner peace. I let every thought of discord slip away. Be still. And you might say to yourself, I am peace. Breathing in, I am peaceful. Breathing out, I am peace. Breathing in, I am peaceful. Breathing out. How about breathing in, I am relaxed. Breathing out, I am relaxing. Breathing in, I am relaxed. I am relaxing. As we contemplate these words and meditate upon their meaning, with prayerful thoughtfulness, there wells up within us a new vision, a vision which has the power to offset hate, to destroy discord, to obliterate fear. There wells up from within right now a trust, a consciousness that we are surrounded by an infinite goodness, and the thought of peace spreads itself beyond the confines of our own consciousness. Helps us in healing a sick world of the belief that it must fight, first at home, in the silence of our own thoughts. Let us heal ourselves of fear, of doubt, uncertainty, of separation. Let our lives be united. Let our lives be peaceful. Let our lives be whole. Let us commit today to choosing peace, the peace that is the missing piece as we unite any places and sense of separation. Let us choose peace today. And so it is.